everybody. Get in here. It's the Shawn Yankey Show, and it's Rant Night. So we are going to have a fantastic time, and you are going to want to be a part of it. Get in here. Like and share. Spread this out. Invite your friends. Tag everybody you know. Start a watch party. This is the most dangerous show on the internet. So you are going to want to get in here because for whatever reason, the powers that be do everything they can to make sure that nobody sees this show. So anything you can do to help me get it out, smashing the like buttons, sharing it with your friends, and commenting, taking part in the show is going to help us out. Plus, what this is a comment-driven chat show. It's something you may never seen before if you've never experienced it. So you might want to just come in and check it out. Because what we do is I start off with a little bit of a subject to get us going. Tonight it's rants. I'm going to rant about a few things that have got me pissed off. And then we're going to talk amongst ourselves. We always have a conversation every night. And only the coolest kids on the internet gather at the Shawn Yankey Show. So you will enjoy yourself. So come on in, like and share. And let me see who's here on Facebook. And say hello. Hey, Joan, you get first tonight? Hey, Helen, Kathy. What's up, Paul, Marie? Hey, Jack. Hey, Riley, good to see you. I'm messaging you after the show. I just want you to know I want to get in touch with you. And I didn't forget about you. I do want to get in touch with you about coming on. Hey, Rose, you got the notification tonight. Good, good, good. Sometimes people do. Sometimes they don't. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Hey, YouTube. What's up, Kilo? How you doing, man? Good to see you guys on YouTube. There's a good group in here over here on YouTube. It's been kind of slow on YouTube ever since we got demonetized. We got demonetized on YouTube, guys. We're going to get into that a little more later in the rant section. But let me get over here and say hi to Periscope. How y'all doing, Periscope? I still can't really see your comments during the live feed. For whatever reason, it's still a baby. Periscope is still a baby. So the interaction isn't there. But when I get a second screen and I get a matrix set up in here, we're going to figure it out. Good to hear it. Good to hear it, Kilo. Good to hear you're doing good. Can I get it any louder, Joan? Let's see. I got that much more volume. I save a little more volume for Joan. I got a little more, and that's it. That's all I got. Helen says we glitched for a second already. Well, it might happen again. So there is a YouTube link in the description where I shared this show. Well, from the main pages that I shared it from. And I will share the link to the YouTube feed right now. There's a reason why we multi-stream. And that is one of them. Because what we do will be shut down eventually. Okay, damn. Helen says we got volume now. This is great. All right. Joan can hear it. You know what? I never wanted to give it all she got. I just did. I went max. I put the pedal to the floor for you. Okay? So that is all that she's got, Captain. Can't do any better than that. But there's the YouTube link for Facebook in case there's trouble. And Kilo says we're good here, audio and video, so fantastic. I'm going to start with the rant. I've got a few things to get off of my chest, things that have me a little frustrated. And afterwards, we can talk about absolutely anything you guys want to. So please take part in the show. Please chat amongst yourselves while I'm ranting and raving. I will check back in from time to time, but I'm going to try to stick kind of to my notes because a lot of what's got me mad is a little all over the place. So I'm mad about a few things. So where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? I don't know. There's so many good ones. All right. I think I'm going to start with this one. Here we go. We're going to start the rant section now, guys. I'm still mad at my boy, y'all. I've gotten to where I'm sick of seeing him. I haven't unfollowed him yet, but I've come close many times. And I'm talking about Bernie Sanders. I've been in a holding pattern with Bernie. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're done. Me and Bernie are done. But it was a clean break, and I'd like for us to stay friends. But it's getting harder and harder to do that, though. You know, it was like I said, I didn't unfollow him. So I still get constant updates on my social media from Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is extremely active on social media. And I'm starting to think that that's about it. You know, today he put on blast the Senate for being the most inactive Senate in history. Well, he abandoned a revolution in progress that had the chance to change that shit and went back to sit with that damn Senate. So shut the fuck up. I'm tired of hearing it, really. It's getting out of hand. You know, you had a chance to make real change, to do something real. You know, you had me convinced that you understood that shit, and you didn't. You know, and don't get me wrong, any of you that still love Bernie, I still love Bernie. I'm wearing my Bernie shirt right now, and I'm not doing it to pander. I still have my Bernie gear. I'm saying this with love. He betrayed us. He betrayed us. Bottom line, misled us. For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know. I have trouble believing the sheepdog shit because he's not a very good sheepdog. It doesn't make sense. You know, how do you sheepdog for the Democrats when your whole agenda and platform is the polar opposite of what they represent? How are you an effective sheepdog? I'm no longer political, Riley. Don't worry. This is not going to turn into a political show. I think I've already shown. Bernie was the last straw for me. I'm not even political anymore. I'm more into activism, direct outreach, and working with your community. Maybe being political at the local level. Definitely getting involved at the local level, but not national. I don't care. I don't care anymore about the national level. It's theatrics. Including Bernie. I'm putting Bernie in that group. You know, and I'm still figuring out how I feel about it. I'm not going to be mad at him. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be mad. It happened. He got me. He got me twice. But you're right, Kathy. Bernie isn't fighting shit. He's doing a lot of stuff that looks really good. You know, and yeah, he got a little bit done in the stimulus for us, but he voted for that fucking thing. And what was that? That was welfare for the rich. It wasn't for the people. So what? He got some crumbs added for us. That was bullshit. That was robbery what happened with that stimulus. You know, and he had power. He could have stopped it. He could have done something. He could have brought it to the people and told us what was in it. You know, what was really going to happen with that money, but he didn't. So what is he really fighting for? He's putting on a good show. You know, I like it. I like that he's educating people about the things he's educating them about. It's fantastic. People need to understand that they deserve better. That's good. He's fighting. I don't want to take that away. But as far as being effective, he had a chance to lead a revolution, to change everything, and he walked away from it. Prematurely. It wasn't even done. There was no reason to quit when he did. So, but I'm not political, Riley, don't worry. Yeah, Kathy, he needs to sit down. He wants to be a senator, be a senator. Have Facebook Lives and raise awareness. I love all that. Big fan. Stop saying that people ain't doing shit. Because you decided to go not do shit. You decided to go sit back at that table. You didn't have to. There was no reason to. What are you doing? I'm pretty sure you can retire and be set for the rest of your life. Anyways. I don't know how to feel about him, but I can see that Marie says she's done. Unsubscribed, left groups. I haven't done any of that. None of it. I have not cleaned house. So it's still all around me. I'm still waist deep in it. And I've kind of done that on purpose because I sat here every day and I hosted a show for the Daily Burn, for the Revolution. And every day talked about how possible it was because I believed it. I believed it 100%. I wasn't on here lying, but I want to stay in that a second. I don't want to just pull out, pretend it didn't happen. I want to fully own it and understand it. You know? So I haven't pulled out yet. I'm still watching it, paying attention. Rose has been done since 2016. I'm with you now. I'm part of your group. Brent says, what can you say? We are a Confederate country. We're a corporation. We're the United States Incorporated. We're not. We don't have democracy. Politics are a joke at the national level. It's just all theater. Paul says a snake oil salesman makes a living off his speech and not the oil itself. A politician will talk a good game until those actual bills hit the floor. Not saying that's Bernie, but it's what to look for. Very good point, Paul. Very good point. And it is Bernie in a lot of ways, all right? But what he's doing is activism. He is informing people. He is teaching people. He is raising awareness. He's doing all that stuff. He's also supporting the fucking system. And right now, he's part of the life support trying to keep it alive. So, it's definitely a snake oil salesman in a way. And he got me twice. It'll never happen again. I don't give a shit who runs. It'll never happen again. Not until there's massive reform. They would have to do so much to get my faith invested in politics on the national stage at this point. Sandy says, I'm glad that Bernie woke a lot of people to the realization that it's all fake. Everyone can sound good through words, but it's action that matters. And that's what he preached. So that's what I'm going to keep. Not me, us. And every time they would chant his name, now when I think back on it, I'm looking at it different. In the moment, I used to think, oh, he's humble. But that's not true. Sorry. It's especially not true when you hear it from other people that know him. So, the reason he would stop people when they would chant Bernie was, I think, because he knew. This isn't about me. It's about you. It's about what you can do. I'm not going to do it. So when they would chant, Bernie, 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 he'd be like, no, 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 no. You. That's what he kept saying over and over and over again. So in a way, he was an honest snake oil salesman. But snake oil salesman nonetheless. Jennifer just got off work. Welcome to the show, Jennifer. You are never late. You cannot be late to a Shawn Yankey show. Whenever you show up, you are right on time. I'm sorry. Had some issues there. Joan says, I'm with you. I still follow Bernie and I'm still happy for him. I still love the dude. And I feel the same way about him getting people fired up. But I wonder if people would be fighting so hard now for change if he didn't light a fire. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. And I'm not taking that away from him. That's why I still wear the Bernie shirt. It's still in the rotation. I still have my Bernie stuff up on the walls. And I'm still in all the Bernie groups. And have the same friends. Didn't burn any bridges, nothing. Didn't throw a fit. 2016, I was pissed. I threw everything in my closet. I didn't throw it away, but I threw it all in the back of my closet, and there it sat for like 6 months. And then I finally dug it back out. This time I didn't do any of that. I still have the bumper stickers on my car. Riley says, I have the cuckoo virus. I'm just going to own it for a little bit. I'm done, but I'm going to own it. I sat here for 6 months every night and told you to do what I was doing. Told you it was the right way to go. I'm going to own it for a little while. I'm not going to act like that didn't happen. I'm not going to pretend that part of my life didn't take place. And I don't regret that part of my life. And I never sat here and lied to you guys. So Jack's got to sew a patch on his vest. Jack is in a motorcycle club, y'all. Jack is a badass and a sweet dude. So he's a little bit of both. He's the total package. So good night, Jack. Jack's got to get out of here, though. Sandy says, tip my scale when the dove landed on his podium. What a prop. How the shit they do that? How'd they get that bird to do that? That's crazy. Can you train a bird? I mean, the luck of that. How? You couldn't have asked for anything cooler to happen than that bird landing on his podium. All right. We done with Bernie now? Let's stop with Bernie for a second. I got a lot to get off my chest. All right. The Who. Now, this could cost me my YouTube channel, y'all. You ain't supposed to talk about The Who. But they're also a rock band. We could be talking about them. You don't know who I'm talking about, YouTube. Anywho, The Who lady, the spokesperson for the World Health Organization, said that asymptomatic people are not very likely at all to spread the Rona. Speaking of the cuckoo virus, asymptomatic people very rarely spread this virus. So, can I take my mask off now? That's all I really want to know. Can I take off the mask? Nope. Because right after she said that, I guess somebody got in her ass about it because she walked it back. Now, she didn't mean that. That ain't what she meant. But just like when Fauci said we didn't need to be wearing the masks, I'm going to take him at his first thing. The first thing he said. I'm not going to listen to what he said after somebody told him to shut your mouth and say it this way. I'm going to believe this Who lady the first time. When she was sitting on the panel and she said that the research has shown, because I also watched a piece by Ben Swan today about this same research. And there is a lot of research showing that asymptomatic people that carry the virus and aren't showing symptoms, aren't likely to spread it. So this fear campaign and everybody gaslighting the shit out of you because you dared to complain that they want to strap a mask on your face, that you dared to say that you don't like that, would say awful things like you want to kill your grandparents, you want everybody to die, you don't care about anybody, you want to kill people. I had somebody tell me they wanted to kick my ass because I was threatening their children's lives. It's fucking ridiculous. And that kind of behavior, even if it was serious, is fucking ridiculous. But now that we've found out that this has all been bullshit, and how much of that did they know? Really? You have to wonder. But let me catch up with YouTube for a second. Kilo said, honestly, I think he knew he didn't have a chance after South Carolina. I'm not going to make any excuses for him. Yeah, Kilo, me too. He said it felt somewhat relieving that he didn't have any skin in the game anymore. And me too. It's freeing. He was the last thing holding me in. He was the only thing that pulled me back in. I was out. It's like the mafia thing when from The Godfather or whatever. You think you're out and they pull you back in. Helen says, Fauci said it was a sign of respect. Since when have I ever given a shit if random people thought I respected them? It's not a sign of respect. It's a sign of conditioning. That's what they're doing, is conditioning us and also seeing what we'll put up with, what we'll allow, what we'll tolerate, and how much we'll question things. They're constantly testing us, running experiments. That's what we are to them. And we're playthings. So, Paul says Trump renamed it the plague from China. Did he really? I don't pay any attention. And it's not from not wanting to listen to Trump. I don't suffer from TDS, but I just don't care. But that's funny as hell if that's true. And I don't doubt it. Don't think I'm doubting you, top fan. Jennifer says it's all bullshit. Wearing a mask all day isn't healthy. Dude, okay. I wear this thing at work. I work 9-hour shifts. I feel nauseous by the end of the day. After about 3 or 4 hours, I start feeling like, just like shit. And I know it's the mask. I know it is. Some of it's fatigue and natural from just working hard, but I have a strenuous job, a fast-paced job. You know, and it's just no good. It's not healthy. I don't think it is. And there's a lot of scientists, a lot of doctors, a lot of experts saying that this is not the way to go. And now that they're admitting, whether by accident, whether it slipped out of her mouth without permission or whatever it was, admitting that this is not even likely to be spread by asymptomatic people. That there's no reason for this shit. No reason for the social distancing. No reason for the masks. They won't turn it off. And when the second wave hits, they'll want to lock it down again. That's why they backed her down. That's why they made her change what she said. Yeah, Jessica? Yes, yes, yes. They are conditioning to us to accept a FEMA mindset because that's where shit is going. Shit is getting ready to get very bad. What is happening behind the curtain has nothing to do with a virus or with race riots or protests and Confederate statues. Nothing to do with any of that shit that cameras are being pointed at. There's something bad coming. Bare minimum, we're heading for a depression that will make the 20s depression look minuscule. It's going to be really, really bad. Maximum, Jessica could be dead on right. We could end up visiting each other in tents and FEMA camps. I'm just telling you the extremes. But bare minimum, we're falling on hard times real soon. So, yeah, Jessica, breathing your own bacteria, all day long, just breathing in your own air over and over again for 9 hours for no reason. Sandy says your first answer is usually correct, as study has shown when taking tests. When you doubt, your answer changes. So who was correct the first time as well as Fauci? First response. That's the only one I'm going with. Look, Fauci is a doctor, a medical expert, and an advisor to 7 presidents? He knows what he's talking about. When he sat on that interview the first time and he said this wasn't the way to go, that the masks and the social distancing and all that wasn't going to do anything and wasn't the proper way to handle this, he was telling the truth. And then after that interview, somebody got in his ass and they said you weren't supposed to say any of that, and he walked it all back. He was telling the truth the first time. The WHO lady was telling the truth the first time. That's what I'm going with. Jessica says, I have numerous Bernie friends lining up for COVID-19 tracing training. Yeah, contact tracking. What is that a precursor to? Come on, you got to think. You got to think. They're conditioning us. Because with that, you're getting trained to basically be a narc on everybody and rat out people that have the virus and anyone that they've been in contact with. So they're training you to be a big brother narc. Nissa, you rock. How are you always watching this show doing the coolest shit? Sometimes you're at the ocean. Sometimes you're at the lake. Right now you're bird watching. Got a badass life, Nissa. I want to be you. Trade me lives for a week. That sounds like a badass vacation. The ocean, the lake, watching birds. You got it going on. Riley says tracing is going to be crazy. I feel bad if you have kids. I feel bad for everybody anymore. I really do. I really do. But let's see. Looks like everybody agrees. I always kind of want somebody to push back. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm open to that. But I don't think I am about this. I think that That lady from the World Health Organization and Fauci were telling the truth the first time. Yeah, Riley. If they decide that you have an infection in your house, you need more than 2 bathrooms. They can remove people from your home. There's a lot of bad in this, and they're conditioning you and preparing you for worse things to come. That's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with this virus. The more I find out about this virus, the less threatening it really seems to be at all. I don't think it's the virus. I think it's something else. Kathy says, I thank God my kid is 30 and has none of his own. Paul says, I can't even say it. That is kind of cool though, Paul. I'll say it. Titties and beer. I'm already demonetized. What are they going to do to me? They're going to take my lunch money away? Speaking of that, this is a new segment that's going to come up on the show from time to time. It has in the past. We've done segments of this in the past, but now it's going to be a regular segment. And it's about people fucking up. This one is about Google. Google is fucking up, y'all. They are holding my money hostage. There's some kind of conspiracy going on at Google, and I don't understand what it is, because Google has a net worth of $280 billion. So why do they need my $130? What are they holding on to it for? You know, they demonetized my channel and they cashed me out. Now they won't accept my payment option. And you can't get a human. $280 billion company, you can't talk to a human. You can ask the community for advice. I'm not doing that shit. You owe me $130. You better get a human to talk to me and give me my fucking $130. That's what you need to do. You know, YouTube was never generous to the creators to begin with, but it took a lot to get to that point, to get monetized. It took a lot of work to get there. A lot of people helped. It was a concerted effort. We finally got there. But once you get there, you find out about the fees. Like, for example, just going to throw out a number so that we have something to work with. Let's say you're talking about $50. Let's say you get a $50 super chat. Well, you would only see 34 of that. They would take 16 right off the top, which is ridiculous. And then you want to hold on to that money. First off, they won't release it till it reaches $100. They won't even give it to you. Like if it's $98.96, then fuck you. You can't have it until it reaches 100. And then they want you to jump through 15 more hoops to get it. So they're ridiculous anyway. I'm kind of glad that I'm not connected to them financially anymore. But they need to give me my money. What are they doing with it? Laughing at me? It's bad enough you took away my my analytics. Man, I liked watching that little graph and making money on videos, even though it was only like 50 cents. Like I'd make 50 cents on a video. I liked it. It was fun for me. Joan says they're signing up. Hold on. They're signing up fraud trackers now, too, for COVID money fraud. Fucking narcs. A lot of F-bombs tonight. I'm tired. If you're here, Philip, that's what it is. I'm tired. And I pumped myself up with some Red Bulls to get some wings so we can have rant night because I'm a giver. I'm constantly giving. See, YouTube, now give me my money. Pay me. All that free content I've given y'all over the years. Now I'm going to get to a fun one. Just a fun one before we get to a serious one. I wrote down like 7 things I wanted to rant about. But this one's funny. NASCAR is finally trying to go left, y'all. They've been turning left for years. They've been going that direction endlessly. But now their politics have joined in and they've decided to cash on this race-baiting propaganda bonanza that's going on right now. They have banned Confederate flags, y'all. No more Confederate flags at NASCAR events. They have seen the light, and the light is money green. They want some of that money. They want to get paid. So they are pushing their newest star. And it gets better, y'all. It gets so much better. NASCAR is going to be exciting this season. I may actually watch it. Matter of fact, I may go to bars to watch it because I want to see people's reaction. Because there is now a Black Lives Matter race car. That is right. There is one African-American driver, Bubba Wallace, and he is now driving the Black Lives Matter race car. And it has trigger warning written all over it, wall to wall. I wish I could show it to you. I'm looking at it right now. It says Black Lives Matter all over it. It's got a white and a black hand reaching in the middle, kind of like that one meme with Arnold and Apollo Creed. But, and solid black. That coupled with the fact that they can no longer wave their Confederate flags, people are going to be pissed at NASCAR events. Kilo says contract tracing is asinine. Dude, it's where we're heading though. It's where we're heading. And they're conditioning people to embrace it. It's scary. Jessica says pitting us against each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all they want to do. That's what most things are for, is divide and conquer, to break us up in little groups. Helen says Soros sponsored. Is it sponsored by Soros? I know he's behind Black Lives Matter, so that makes sense. Fucking Soros. NASCAR. Dude, their target audience is pissed right now. So they are cashing in on this PC culture. I don't buy this shit that they had to change a heart and decided to get with the times. That's not what's happening here. It's all part of the triggering the population agenda that's going on right now. They've incorporated NASCAR into that shit. They've weaponized NASCAR. Yeah, Kathy, good deal on NASCAR, but I'm telling you, that's not what's going on here. It's not what's going on here. They're pissing people off. They're trying to get us all civil unresty. They want us all good and mad and fighting and riding in the streets. This is to rev people up. That's what this is. You know, Paul says NASCAR, more white people burning down black cities and pride to cash in. Paul, it's in my notes tonight, man. I don't think I want to go there, though. You know what I'm talking about? We're like right on the fence. We could take the transition right now. We could take a right turn and head right into that ditch. But it is kind of a ditch. Let's see. What do you guys want to get into? I've got more things in my notes. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. People might not like it, might not like my take on it, but the Trump campaign is demanding that CNN apologize for a poll that shows Biden leading. I know a lot of you probably think that's funny. I don't. CNN is fake news. And this poll is probably hot garbage. I don't believe it for a fucking second. And I kind of like that Trump is calling them out. It's a bogus poll. Just like the polls before the 2016 election that showed Hillary winning by a landslide. He's right. You know, when he's right about that shit, when he's right about pointing out the mainstream media bias and the lies in the media, why would you not give him that? He's right about it. So why are we denying it? It's true. You can't believe a damn thing coming out of that flickering box in your living room. So when he tells you that, when he tells you that poll is fake news, it is fake news. It's true. Yeah, Paul, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of brave, but am I that brave? Brett says we're a Confederate. They lost the war but won at the voting ballots. Now they want the war. The powers that be want a war. They want us to get unruly enough that they can justify what they're going to do. And what they're going to do is lock us down to keep us under control when whatever happens, happens. Something big is going to happen. A lot of people think it's going to be a global currency reset, but whatever it is going to be bad for the regular people. The elite will be just fine. They have nothing to worry about. Regular people are going to be screwed wherever we're heading, and the elite want to make sure they have control over us. They don't want us getting all riled up and fucking up their shit. They don't let us do it right now. It's all insured, but they don't want us getting the nice stuff. We ever headed down the right streets? They have names and addresses. We ever actually went to their house and tore shit up? They wouldn't be pushing buttons anymore. They wouldn't think it was so fun. But you're tearing up shit that they have insured and they don't care. They don't give a shit. Don't matter. It's a game. You think it's hilarious. Go to their house. Tear up their house. George Soros has an address. He's instigating this shit. Show up at his house. Go tear down monuments at George Soros' house. Probably not a good idea. Helen says, every time my post gets covered by a fact checker, they are always connected to CNN. CNN is heavily invested in this fake news bullshit. They are a very big part of the propaganda that's going on right now. And they are very responsible for Trump derangement syndrome. They have a whole section on their website called 45 that is wall-to-wall negative news about Trump. They're a propaganda machine. Edward says, we are now right back to COVID tracker on CNN. No more riots. What? I got to pull up CNN now because that's crazy. We're back to COVID now. Uh-oh. Second wave. Here it comes, y'all. If you're going to surf it, you better get ready. Get your board ready. So here comes that second wave. Trust me, there will be a second wave. Even though they've come out and said that this is mostly bullshit, they will pound it back into our face. Sandy says, take everything out of your house that's made in China and see what's left. Wouldn't be much. I'm looking around and I'd be sitting in an empty room pretty much. Nissa says, what the actual fuck? That was an unnecessary F-bomb. I usually don't repeat the ones in the comments, but John says, you were right about the digital dollar. That is what they want to do with any more stimulus and want to set up universal bank accounts. They're going to put us on an allowance. They're going to put us on UBI. That's where we're heading. We're heading to living in smart cities, crammed in like roaches, on an allowance, dependent on the state, and completely locked down. It won't be like it is anymore. Things are going to change for us. When they do, if I'm right about what's coming, and they lock us down, and shit gets real, it will never go back to the way it was. Ever. 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 And that's what they're also conditioning you for that shit right now, too. This is the new normal. The new normal. The new normal. Over and over again. Say it, say it, say it. Until you, that's how you do it. That's the key to propaganda. Getting you ready for massive change. Starting to show you where to stand, all kinds of shit. It's crazy. They're seeing how much they can train you to change your life. Jessica says the second wave will be blamed on the protesters. I wish I had trophies and awards to give out because that is absolutely correct. And they will sit there and they haven't said a friggin' word. I'm trying to watch myself. A friggin' word about this at all during these protests. They've been encouraging it. But if he's right, and they are back to the propaganda now, they're going to start backpedaling that shit too. And they're going to start being like, oh, we were totally wrong. Everybody was wrong. We made a big mistake, guys. And now it's everywhere. The Rona's everywhere. Jessica said, we're here for you. Aw. I'm gonna take that for me. I don't even know. That might have been for Kurt. Nissa said, rest in peace, Kurt. Sometimes Nissa's all over the place. Nissa's got her own show going on. Sometimes I wonder what's happening at Nissa's show. Because it seems like it's pretty good. I'm just teasing Nissa. Edward says, Agenda 21 2030. You know, I made an Agenda 21 video recently for Conspiracy Theory Night. And I had somebody on Reddit. Which, by the way, Reddit sucks. Out of all social media, I, I hate Reddit. I hate it. I only use it because I'm a creator and it's really good for sharing. But there's such elitists over there. And they wanted to tear me apart as a conspiracy guy because I shared it to the Reddit conspiracy thread. I had the balls, the audacity, right? So they had to tear me apart. You're an idiot if you think this has to do with Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. Okay. All right, Boomer. All right, Boomer. It all has to do with all of it. It's all tied in together. It's all part of them showing you what they're going to do. That's what they do. That's part of their belief system. They put it all out in plain sight, lay it out for you, and do it in the open. They don't hide shit. No matter what you want to find, you can find it. It's right there. If you just go looking. Most people just never do. We're all in this together. I don't know if that's what you're replying to, but we are in this together. And we all have the same enemies. And things will get bad for us. No matter what color your skin is, it will have to do with how many zeros are in your bank account. So it's a class war, not a race war. That's diversion. It's bullshit. It's distraction. This is a class war. We're in a class war. You're being played. Being riled up in the streets, getting made to act like fools, and they're laughing. They're laughing. Because they're just distracting us and fucking with us until they drop the hammer. We need to be united for whatever's coming, because we're all screwed equally. We're not going to be in any better situation than our neighbors. We're going to find ourselves becoming equals very fast. Jennifer says it's all a plan towards the New World Order. It's exactly what's going on. And a big part of that plan is the collapse of the United States and our way of life. And the dollar even. So the global currency reset and these other theories for what actually is happening right now could be true. They don't have loyalty to the United States, those that own it, those that have purchased it. They don't have loyalty to it. They'll cash in their chips. They don't care. They think on a global scale. They want to run the whole world. They want to rule everything. They're not Team America. That's shit that they sell to you. They sell that to you because you eat it up. They don't care. They have no loyalty. It's just sad to watch everybody fight amongst each other when our real enemies are just a handful of people in the grand scale of things. A handful. They wouldn't even show up on a graph or a pie chart. Wouldn't even be able to tell that there was a different section there. It's very few people control everything. And they never get any repercussions. They don't ever suffer any justice. Doesn't happen. It's weird. Yeah, Brett, speak it into existence. We need to start changing this reality. Our reality is what we tolerate. You know, a lot of what we talked about on the Daily Burn was true. It was all true. You can make changes. We can change reality. And a lot of it is speaking it into existence, making it happen, changing your mindset. All kinds of stuff like that. It's not going to be stepping into a voting booth to vote for a president. I no longer care about that. That's something that's just happening in the background. I'm going to worry about what I can affect. That's how I feel. This says Tweaker's going to tweak. Tweaker's got to tweak. Paul says nationalists versus globalists. We've all seen it coming, but only a few will leave their mental matrix to see it. A lot of people can't. A lot of people can't. You know, that movie is a documentary, The Matrix. It's not even a movie. It's wall-to-wall truth, that movie. It's just a thinly veiled um, it happens once per show. I went blank on the word I wanted to use there, but it's just thinly veiled just differences between real life and that movie. Everything's a lie. Everything is bullshit. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you might as well have been living in a pod, because you weren't living. Nothing around you was what it seemed to be. And the more you realize that's true. And the more you find out, the more you realize that that's true, is what I meant to say. Riley says language is a spell. Language is very powerful. And they understand these things. They are very into the occult, very into the power of these things we take for granted. They believe in that shit. Jennifer says it's going to be unity. I hope so. I really do. That's what we need. We need to come together because we have common enemies. We're up against the same people, all of us. And all of these other little divides are silly. Kilo says, screw that, I'm heading to the mountains. Dude, I might have to come with you. We got to set up a commune maybe. Unplug from this shit. I don't like where things are heading. I can tell you that. I get you. Kilo says, gotta be in the club to live in that plush world. Have that money. And we're not in it. So if you're not in the big club, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. Things are going to get bad for you. Joan says, our country loves to try to damage other countries by sanctions and tariffs. Wait till the other countries start to do that to us. We've ruined a lot of people's lives with tariffs and restrictions and sanctions. And we did it to Venezuela. We're doing it to Iran. We've done it hundreds of times. All over the world. We're not the good guys. Once you start learning that, too, it becomes really hard. A lot of these truths are uncomfortable. You know, like I got told, I almost brought something up that I'm trying to avoid bringing up because I'm trying to stop being so damn sensitive. I'm a big baby. It's even in my notes. There's something that I just don't even want to get into it. It would probably be the realest part of the rant, though, if I allowed myself, but I just don't want to because it's personal. Jessica says, create a communal barter society amongst ourselves. I'm in. We got a grower. We got people in the healthcare industry. We've got, I'll do a little show for everybody every night. We'll come up with some shit. We can have a little community. Edward says, do it. Jennifer says, I like how you said that. We are all up against the same enemy. The sooner people realize that, the better off we will all be. That's a fact. It's a fact. We just fight amongst each other and ourselves. It's so silly. So silly. I'm going to do something that I was trying not to do anymore. I'm bad about this. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just more comfortable with it. It's so bad. It looks bad. I hate when I do it. Because I watch these back. And as I try to interact with the comments, I really love this shit. I love the conversation with you guys. I love interacting with y'all. So I watch them back. And every time I break, because I always try not to do this. Every time I break, I'm like, fuck, you almost made it, man. Like, because when I watch it back, I realize, shit, you only had to go 30 more minutes. But in the moment, I'm like, I'm having fun. I don't want to wrap up. I don't want to think about leaving. So I'm just going to go ahead and cave. So I don't. That's what ends up happening. Edward can farm. Joan grew up on a farm. And Paul will be the town whore. And we need one of those. Thank you, Paul. Someone had to bite that bullet. Paul is a team player. That's how he became top fan. Sandy says, better start learning some survival skills. That's why I am damn lucky. The Babels grew up on a farm. And Babels is a survivalist, and Babels knows all that stuff. And I will just hold on to her leg and be her muscle. She will get me through. I will survive. But if something happens to Babels, I'm going to be screwed. Y'all going to have to take care of me. I'm an indoor kid. I grew up indoors. Riley's great with a torch. Jennifer says, but it's really hard to wake people up because it's scary to know what's going on, but they don't realize there is better on the other side of that fear. All right, I am going to do it. I'm going to do it, Edward. I'm going to do it. Armchair quarterbacks. I have no notes for this section other than armchair quarterbacks, but they've been getting in my head lately. All right, we're at the hour mark, and I usually let that be the time that we just kind of really break it down and hang out and have fun, court group. So we can get into the personal one. I've had, just this week, a couple people, and I get it all the time. You got to imagine, running a live stream show every day, I've got to get messages all the time of people. And I do. So I get negative all the time, and I don't let it bother me. But sometimes it happens from people I know, you know. It'll be maybe a backhanded compliment, which is how one of them took the form of it, and then, or it'll just be right out front. That they'll disagree with how I'm doing things or what I'm doing in doing these shows. This is hard, for one. It is. If I was just getting on here and only hanging out with you guys every night, I know we do a lot of that, but that's not all I'm doing. So there's a lot of prep involved. I try to make it professional. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. And I try to keep it entertaining. And the core message is the truth. But we do different themes. We have fun. And truth gets out, I feel. But I was told I don't hit hard enough. And that got in my head. I mentioned it yesterday. It's been in my head for days. And then I got tore up on my researching. And I'm like, damn, y'all. I got a full-time job. I'm trying real hard. Oh, everybody's saying goodbye. We're not leaving. I'm not ready to leave. Free Shawn's weed, though. We need to get that hashtag pushed because I need to build a smoke in the house. We got to find a way. It's bad because Babos gets migraines from marijuana. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that the saddest thing you've ever heard? Cannabis gives her migraines. So the smell of it bothers her. Yeah, Joan. We got to talk about this for a minute. This would be a good rant to go out on. They took Elmer Fudd's rifle. Not only that, they took Yosemite Sam's guns. And they still got his dumbass like he's going to grab something, but he's got nothing to grab anymore because his guns are gone and Elmer don't have a gun. But they still got him being a hunter. What's he hunting him with? His baby face? Because they changed his face to a friggin' baby face. They couldn't just take his gun away. They had to give him a baby face too. They ruined it. They fucked with the Looney Tunes, y'all. They took their guns away. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now they're going to come for our guns. You know, Clinton, you're right. You're right, man. We got to protect our guns. They're coming for them. Take them from the cartoons first. And if nobody speaks up, they're going to come for the real ones. Brett says you need to get her some edibles. She's tried the edibles. Gives her a headache. Can you be allergic? Is that a symptom if you're allergic? Headaches? Hold on. Somebody's saying nice things about me. I got to back up. Jennifer says, it's a lot of work. And I love this forum you've created. I don't know how this happened. It happened by accident, but this is amazing. I love this show. I'm a fan. I watch it. But she says, I'm doing awesome. Thank you. And I don't get easily captivated. But I like the vibe and the people. You did something amazing. We built something great here. And it will blow up eventually, no matter how hard they try to hold it back. and it will get out to a larger audience, and there will come a time when I will be very sad because I won't be able to keep up like I do, and it won't feel as real. Maybe I'm worried. So one day this is going to hit, and there will be 50, 100 people here all the time consistently, and the comments are going to be really hard to keep up with, and hopefully I can keep it that way because I try to be real and genuine. It is, because it is rare, and I think there's value here, even though we do different things. Like, I got told I wasn't real enough and I didn't hit hard enough because last night we covered Project Pegasus. It's just a fun one. I do a new conspiracy theory video every week, and we've covered everything. But I guess that in this person's opinion, if you're not hitting a relative issue currently happening, then you're not doing anything of value. I don't know. Helen says, no more 6-shooter levitating. Dude, how you going to take away Yosemite Sam's guns? I'm more worried about Yosemite Sam than I am Elmer. Elmer will be fine. He ain't never catch a rabbit or nor a duck. Ever. Not once. I never saw him get one. But Yosemite Sam's guns are his life, yo. All he is a bent over crouching dude about to draw his guns. And they still got him drawn that way, but he's got no guns to draw. Jennifer says, if you do Zooms, you will grow and make money doing this. How do you make money on Zoom? The only thing I've ever used Zoom for was to a book club, an online book club. Like, it's for meetings, right? My boss does her daily conference call on Zoom. What else is Zoom used for? Marie says, my happy place. What? Oh, Jessica said this show is my happy place. You know, Joan says that too. That means so much to me. It really does. Joan says, tell that person this is why we don't join him on his show. He's no fun. Yeah, well, he doesn't have one. That's the other thing about armchair quarterbacks. They usually don't have their own shit going on. They're experts in their own field. They want to tell you all about you and your stuff that you have going on, but they usually don't have their own stuff going on. So I can't critique their shows because neither one of these people have one. Brett says, I used to get headaches and it made it more intense. Cut it down, way down. If you get a headache, it is too much. So you think she's just got a really low tolerance? She's over smoking and over ingesting? Because when she tried edibles, it was a 10 milligram cookie. She ate the whole cookie, but you think maybe she only should have done 5? Could be. Sandy says, it's okay. Most who were here in the beginning will back you up if we're overwhelmed in the comments. We can comment back and forth if you lose track. You guys rock. You guys are so awesome. I have been very lucky, Jennifer. It's been mostly luck. The group that has gathered and built over time is amazing. And that is what keeps me going. That is what rewards me. Because we are heavily throttled. We are heavily suppressed. Dot Connector was talking about it here last night on YouTube, which I just realized I need to get back and see this. Why did they block that comment, Kilo? YouTube does something interesting that Facebook doesn't do. They block comments, right? During a stream, during live streams. And the reason they do that is because they hold you responsible for your comments. But Kilo said, tell those naysayers to go screw themselves. You can't say that? Why is that flagged? Why are you not allowed to say that? I've said the F word at least 15 times on this feed. You can't say screw? Country Fisher says, what up, man? Oh, good to see you back. Keel says, don't know. Seen Elmer blast the crap out of Daffy. Blew his bill clear around his head. But he never did have no duck dinner. He never was a successful hunter. You know, and Daffy and Bugs are both bulletproof. So why does it even matter if they have guns? It don't mess. The laws of physics don't apply to Looney Tunes. Jessica says it's her cannabis receptors on overdrive. So you're on the overdose theory too. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna get her to just try one hit. Just one hit and back off. Maybe just blow it in their face. Jennifer says, I'll explain it later using Zoom to make money after the show. I'm going to bed. I worked 12 hours today and I'm exhausted. I'm really tired too. We're going to wrap up soon too. I still have stuff I got to do. Like I got to reach out to Riley. I was going to ask you permission to message you, but I'm kind of asking you right now. I'm going to message you after the show. I am fascinated to hear your story. And you had said last night that you may come on, so I'm gonna message you about it. Sandy says you and Harsh did a great show together. Think about maybe including someone now and then. Just an idea thrown out, but you rocked it that night. Totally. Thank you. And I do have guests on from time to time. Not as often as I'd like. I need to line up more people to have on. And anyone that you think would be good, hook me up. Message me, though. A lot of people make the mistake of messaging the page. And that's a mistake because I am really bad about keeping up with the show page's messages. Matter of fact, they took my badge away. And I have a 3-day response time. Message me. I'm the little rabbit. If you look for me on Facebook, if you're here on YouTube and you search me on Facebook, right now I'm a little rabbit. I'm usually the really good-looking guy, but right now I'm a rabbit. I just really like the rabbit. I'm in love with my new profile picture. Sandy says, I love the old TV set prop. I like it. This is the best look I could come up with for now. At first it was out of necessity because really there's not a lot moving on the screen. We used to glitch a lot. We don't anymore, but we used to glitch a lot. And it was to minimize the amount of moving things on the screen is how we ended up in this set. But I like it. I like how it's a retro TV theme, and I like how the TV is not plugged in. So I'm kind of a ghost program in cyberspace. Marie says, drop that YouTube link again so we can hop over there and hit like and share for you. I will. Let me drop that one more time over here on Facebook. There it is. Jessica says, try high potency turmeric with cannabis combo. We're trying to figure out how to get you on cannabis, Babels. Everybody thinks you do too much, that you have a low tolerance, and that you took too much.
No, I only did one hit before.
But you didn't have a headache that day when you just did one.
Yes, I did. I even get it with CBD.
She even gets headaches with CBD. What is turmeric? What
Turmeric helps with muscle aches and pains. It's a spice.
Oh. Yeah, just missing the rabbit ears. I wish I had some of that in like the duct tape. That would be cool. I need to add that into the image or find one with that. Paul says turmeric and CBD is a great medicinal combo. Sandy says I used to have to adjust rabbit ears. Remember that? You remember being the remote control? You used to be the remote control. Get up and go change channel. Get up and go turn it up. And fetch me a beer. You were quite the little robot when I was a kid. I don't think it's like that anymore, but Edward says blood flow too? Turmeric? Could be. Allergic. Jennifer thinks allergic maybe. Marie says CBD could be a problem with the carrier oil. My partner cannot do CBD with coconut oil. Allergic. And turmeric is anti-inflammatory. Sounds like it's good for a lot of things. Well. Let's see. Did I leave anything out? I ranted about a lot of different things tonight. There is a hot potato buried in my notes, but I don't think tonight's the night. Definitely not at this point in the show. I'm a little too tired to take that one on. Paul knows what I'm talking about. Helen says only 4 clicks and you were out of viewing options. There weren't a lot of channels, And really, only 3 of the 4 were any good. And that was back when you had to go to channel 3 if you wanted to play a video game or watch a VHS tape. Sandy says hot peppers. Jack always talks about garlic. Jack is always raving about garlic, using garlic for health. He says he eats it like an apple. Country Fisher says, I've heard you can get a headache from CBD. She does. She does. But I go to a doctor and ask why. I would too. Boy, I'd be on my way to the doctor right now. I don't have that problem. If I did, I would definitely be figuring it out. Edward, I don't know. You know, I could, but we'd have to do another hour, and I'm exhausted. Because like Jennifer, I've been having to work too hard lately at work, honestly. They're getting their money's worth out of me, to be real honest with you. They're busting my ass at work. And I'm leaving money on the table. They owe me a little bit more money. I think they need to give me a raise. But I have exhausted my notes. So I am going to wrap up for the night, guys, because I'm just tired. I'm having a good time. I would love to hang out with you guys a little longer, but I am tired. I can feel my eyes drooping. But we gather here every day, every weekday, at 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. Everywhere that you're watching it right now, we'll be there tomorrow on all the platforms. And tomorrow is Full Bowl Friday. So make sure you show up for tomorrow's show, because tomorrow's always fun because it's Full Bowl Friday. And right now, I'm on resin. And nobody that works 50, 60 hours a week and has a second job in the evenings should be scraping resin to get high in the United States of America. And that's the note I'm going to leave y'all on Rant Night tonight. But I will see you tomorrow. So be here, and we will hang out again for the Friday episode of the Shawn Yankey Show. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me.